Welcome to The Naked Bite. I'm Antonelli. I have a really fun, simple recipe to show you today. Raw energy bars. They're awesome because they're very versatile, they're really quick and easy to make, and they have long-lasting, sustained quality energy. So what I'm going to do, I have a food processor here. You can do it in Vitamix, but food processor works better because it has a wider bottom and easier for the nuts to spin. I have a cup of mixed walnuts and almonds. You can do pretty much any kind of nut you want. I'm going to take out a little bit of these just for some texture later on. Pour those into the bowl. And then I have some raw sunflower seeds. Again, taking a little bit of these out. This is just to add in so you have a little bit of crunch. And then some cocoa nibs. So these are raw, unrefined chocolate that have absolutely no sweetener in them whatsoever. It's like the highest antioxidant power you can get from the chocolate with no add-ins. And then some raw flaked unsweetened coconut. Again, I'm going to take a little bit of this out as well. The cocoa nibs I like to blend completely because they are a little bit bitter. If you like the crunch and the flavor of the bitterness, you can keep some of those out as well. And then I have some chia seeds, which are going to add a lot of protein, fiber, omegas, and sustained energy. I want 1/3 of a cup of chia seeds. And then I'm going to blend these until they're nice and powdery, kind of like the texture of a coarse sand. Okay, so you can see in here, show you a little close-up, little sandy, you've got a little bit of texture in there, but for the most part it's nice and ground up. And then I'm going to add pitted dates, which are a very nice raw sweetener. Can't seem to get this back on. There we go. So pitted raw dates, these are medjool dates, so they're bigger and sweeter, but any kind of date will work. You just want equal to a cup. And then I have a 1/2 cup of dried cranberries. You can use dried cherries, you can use raisins. Depends on if you like the tartness. And I'm going to save those. And then I may add a little bit of coconut oil in if it feels like it needs a little more moisture. So I'm going to pulse these a few more times. You can see that it's not quite that sticky yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of coconut oil because you want the mixture to be able to come together in a ball. So I'm going to start with that and then see. Add one more, actually, you know what? I'm going to add one more date, I think, because it needs a little bit more stickiness. That's what we're missing. And also the remaining nuts. Okay, see how it's starting to come together in a ball here? So you can pull the dough out and roll it together. So you can actually, if you want, you can just roll these into balls and then you make like a little truffle, like that. Or if you want to make actual, tragedy, man overboard. If you want to make a bar, you can take a lined baking sheet. This has a little bit of parchment on it, or you can do a little bit of plastic wrap, or like a 9 by 13 inch baking pan. And you can just press the dough into the pan. Like so. And then once it's all pressed and flattened, you put it in the refrigerator and let it chill. And then when it's chilled, you cut it into bars. You can put it in plastic baggies or put it in Tupperware and carry it with you. The nice thing about these is that they don't need to be refrigerated for, you know, you can leave them out for a day or so. They're good in your purse or in the car. Nice road trip snack, great after a workout. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the refrigerator. I'm pushing them down about 1/3 of an inch thick, I'd say. And I'm going to put them in the refrigerator, and then when they're done, I'm going to cut them and try them out, make sure they're good. So the power bars have been in the refrigerator for about an hour. They're nice and firm. They're going to be pretty easy to cut, in theory, let's hope. And so I'm just going to lift it up off the parchment. Now remember, the dough is really firm, so it doesn't matter what size cutting board or what size baking sheet you have. You can kind of mold it into the size that you need, like I do here. So I'm going to flip it over and just peel off the parchment. And then I'm gonna, I wanna make them into kind of the standard power bar shape. You can do tiny little squares if you want. You can cut them up into little itty bits and serve them, as like a little dessert at a party if you want, or give them to your kids in their lunchbox. So cutting it down the middle. And then I'm just gonna do, let's see, I'll probably start here. And they're a little crooked, that's okay. It's fun that way. Doesn't have to be perfect. So now I have these perfect little bars. This is a really nice in-between meal snack. And I could put them in this little glass Tupperware, or like I said, you can wrap them up in plastic wrap, and or like a little mini Ziploc bag and take them with you. These I just like to store in the refrigerator. Save those for snacking, like that. These will keep for a couple of weeks in the fridge. There's, the sugar from the dates and the nuts. There's nothing in here that's gonna go bad quickly. And then let's give one a try, because we don't want to make anything without tasting it. They have a nice crunch. You can feel the pop of the chia seeds, which is really nice. And then they're sweet, but they're not too sweet. And then they have some tang from the cranberry, which I prefer that over like a raisin or something. But you can even use a dried apricot if you like, or like a dried pineapple. But they're delicious and give you long-lasting, sustained energy. And did you see how simple they were? That was like, I don't know, 6 minutes active time, and then, an hour to chill, and then it takes you, a minute and a half to cut them up. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Amber Antonelli. For this recipe and more, visit thenakedbite.com, where you can eat healthy and inspired, one naked bite at a time. Ciao.